Hello and welcome to episode 70 of the DaebakCast. This is a weekly podcast where the three of us come together each week to talk about K-pop and whatever's current in the industry. This week we have all album reviews, all girl group album reviews, just the way we like it. And anyways, let's get right into the thick of it. As always, I'm joined by Nate.
As time for the Moon Knight.
All right.
Awkward silence.
Also, well, I guess if you guys couldn't hear that, I was clapping.
There you
Anyways.
Golf claps.
Anyways, as always as well, I'm also joined by Andrew, who usually has three things.
One, Celtics are making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, even though half their roster is like dead, basically. And no, there was a funny incident that happened last weekend where basically they're playing the Philadelphia 76ers, and they put the Sixers they had to make a two points to tie the game, 3 points to win the game. Then they had the last shot. It goes in. Everyone thinks it's a 3-point, and everyone thinks they win the game. And then the confetti guy pushes the button, and then it turns out they only tied the game, and then they end up losing in overtime. So
awesome.
Oh my god.
No, basically they couldn't start overtime because they had to wait 15 minutes to clean up all the confetti. And then they ended up losing the game. So it was so funny. Number 2, the pollen is too damn high right now. Not even joking. It's covered. I have a periwinkle colored car. It's basically yellow green now because it's just covered in pollen. I've had to wear my mask every morning basically just because it's so bad and I don't want to die and get allergies. So yeah, this sucks. This is literally the worst time of the year right now. And finally, we're going to KCON.
Woo! After much struggle.
Oh god, it took forever to get the tickets and everything, but
I don't know what your problem is.
Hey! I get to be right in front of freaking Red Velvet and Stray Kids and 101 and EXID and all this sort of stuff. Have fun in the cheap seats.
Hey, I'm in the expensive seats, okay?
I need to fight Cooper for that 2-day spot.
Or no, if we'll try to get you some. If anyone is selling P1 standing, we will buy it from you only for face value.
Yep. Okay. Anyways, I'm Jacob. Hashtag no blow note. Let's get started.
No, seriously, our first Kickstarter is our first GoFundMe is buy Jacob a new blow note.
That'll be our first Patreon reward goal. $15 to buy Jacob a copy of Blow Note.
That actually would be hilarious. Anyways, so I guess we can get right into the first topic, which is, of course, Dreamcatcher's new mini album, which is the fourth. Is it the third or the fourth part in Nightmare?
It's fourth.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because there was Nightmare, then there was...
Or no, prequel wasn't in Nightmare.
Prequel is part of Nightmare.
Yeah,
it wasn't called Nightmare : prequel, but it's part of the same storyline.
Okay.
Because it was Nightmare, then Nightmare... I can't remember the subtitle for the second single.
Let me check.
And then prequel, which wasn't called Nightmare prequel, but it is prequel.
It's like Fall Asleep in the Mirror.
Yeah, Fall Asleep in the Mirror, that's right.
Yeah, that is what it is.
Then prequel, and then Nightmare Escape the Era. But all 4 of them are. And they did say in their press conference thingy that...
Press release?
No, well, because that's what, showcase...
The
showcases
are press release.
Well...
Instead of White House and Black House.
Yeah, if you don't know what showcases are when they debut, that's literally a press conference.
Yep.
It's press at those.
Yep.
And so that's why they talk about different things like comebacks and stuff. And there's fans too, obviously, but yeah, so they said that this will be the last of the Nightmare releases, and they're gonna move on to a new concept and storyline and new genres and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it goes from here.
Rock.
I feel like they have to because it's such a signature thing.
Because I mean,
I don't think it's gonna be as heavy and dark, but I think they'll still be rock related.
Yeah,
stuff.
rock has there's
many layers.
Yeah, there's a wide spectrum of rock music, so it doesn't necessarily just have to be crazy metal type of stuff.
Yeah, so now instead of
Right.
nightmares, do like drug trips
Dreams.
and give me
Psychedelic
progressive psychedelic metal,
we need
just
we need
crazy
the dream,
time signatures and
We
stuff.
need the dream theater of K-pop
Well, yeah, we need Dream Theater, Dreamcatcher, like crossover. is what we need.
Crossover.
without Mike Portnoy because he's an asshole.
Well,
Both
he's
theater catcher.
okay. First song is Inside Outside, which is the intro. And all four of their albums so far have had intros. So you can kind of expect it. But I think this is probably the best one.
This
in my
looks like
opinion.
straight out of like a thriller movie trailer.
Yeah, so it's
I know,
like
it sounds like a hype. It sounds like a hype video for like some like League of Legends or
Oh, yeah.
something like that.
yeah.
That too.
It's like string. I just like that it like builds up strings and then into drums into guitar, but then it drops into like a house song with like a really cool bass line.
Yeah, it's so
and
dope.
then it just like mixes them all. It's so cool.
I don't know about you guys. This is the best song on the album.
I thought about saying that, but I couldn't actually pick a best song on this album. So, but yeah, it's definitely up there. Like, but I think all of their intros have been amazing so far. So I kind of expected at this point. I would have been disappointed if it wasn't.
It's very Dreamcatcher, I guess.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They like the rock with the like electronic elements. Like,
Yep.
it's yeah, like it's got the elements of like their title tracks and as well as songs like Sleepwalking.
Sleepwalking.
Yeah, Sleepwalking.
I
wanted-
wanted to call it
That's the
Sleep
drum.
Talking.
Yeah, that's the drum and bass
That's a different
song.
song. But no, I want an entire like song that kind of sounds like this. And no, the thing I love about the drop or the EDM portion is very reminiscent of like straight up like French like house music, like Justice, really like hard hitting type of like style. So great production. I love that blend of orchestration and the sort of electronic music. We talk a lot about producers, but we don't really like. We've kind of like missed out on like pretty much Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher's
Like
producers.
their producer's name is like Lee's or something like that. Like I don't know. He's like some type of SoundCloud producer, I think, or he uploads like the tracking vocals on SoundCloud and everything. So it's very interesting to see like the behind the scenes aspect of it. But yeah, everything he's done has just been crazy good. And like again, it's nice to see that they incorporate all these different styles to build something so unique.
Yeah.
I'll have to check his SoundCloud out then. Like it's basically like the source for like all the like what goes in behind the music before it's actually production ready. All right, cool.
Next we have You and I, which is the title track or the single. So for this, I mean, if you've listened to Dreamcatcher before, you know exactly what like you're gonna be getting. They didn't change, they didn't go crazy changing what they're doing. For this, I want to say it's like it's not as heavy as the first two, but it's heavier than Fly High. Like it's
It's in between.
Way heavier.
yeah, it's in between.
Yeah, on a scale, I'd say on a scale of like Chase Me to Fly High, it's more Chase Me.
Yeah, it's definitely closer to Chase Me and Good Night. I think am I remembering the name of the song wrong? It was Good Night,
that's right.
right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, for this, so tons of strings, which I love always. I really like the guitar part during the chorus. I think it fits really well. And then for music video and aesthetics and stuff, everything's just insane. Like the sets are so good. The leather Final Fantasy armor, whatever they did to Sua's hair, the thing in Sua's hair is like so cool looking.
It's like one braid is just like highlighted or something. I don't know.
Well, no, yeah, it's like I don't know. It's not actually her hair. They put some weird,
it's an
like
extension or
braiding,
something like that, yeah.
fancy thing into her hair, but it looks really cool. Choreo's great. All the stuff with the props is so cool with like Dami's staff, which is in the
cane,
the thumbnail, and then like the handkerchiefs. So
You know
yeah,
what's
just
Literally. Oh, I was gonna say about the cane. It's like literally candy cane looking cane.
oh yeah, and when it's the white and red one, yeah,
Yeah.
And then
because when they're in the black outfits, it's a different color.
yeah, and then she just like it's like a magician's thing because like in like the live performance she like makes it appear out of nowhere. I'm just like, yo, what the hell? And also if You want to see something funny? Pay attention to whenever they pull the handkerchiefs in and out of like they just stuff it in like a belt loop or something like that. It's just really funny to see him like ever so casually like stuff like the handkerchiefs away.
Mm-hmm.
No, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
It's awesome. That's what I was like.
The MV, I think this MV was definitely a huge step up over Fly High. I feel like it's very multi-layered, a la like the Chase Me and Good Night.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like there's just like so you have like the beginning, you have like the freaking devil's anus from like Thor Ragnarok or something like that, like the random portal, and then you have. And then there's like the old lady turns into a spider or something when she gets pictures taken of her.
Yeah, it's the spider from Fly High.
Yeah, no, I ain't fucking with that. But and then there's like Dementors flying around from like Harry Potter or whatever. Yeah, there's so many layers to this. But yeah, serious shout outs goes to Yuhyun's hair, because she basically looks like Aranea from Final Fantasy 15, and everyone knows if you play Final Fantasy 15, Aranea is best girl. So. I think I might have a new Dreamcatcher bias.
All right, so for me, I definitely think this is one of their... On my first listen, I was like, I don't know if I like this better than the other three, but I think it's definitely like among them now. Like, it's for me, it's hard to like rank the Dreamcatcher songs.
Oh no, yeah, they're all so
like,
good,
so really good. Yeah. Out of the title tracks, that is like one thing I really liked was again the MV, like drastically like. In my opinion, kind of like drastically like improved in production value, and like definitely. It was super, super cool. And then in the choreography, like what you're talking about before, the handkerchiefs, I thought that was really cool. Like they throw them up and they catch them or whatever.
Yeah. Or yeah. She unthrows hers and catches hers.
Yeah. Cooper said something about this in the chat earlier. I was like, he was like, I can't wait for them to drop it. I was like, well, no, that's going to happen.
Yeah. He said, or he did like the gif of like SpongeBob being really anxious. He's like me every time she unthrows her handkerchief. I was like, yeah. The instant I saw that in the music video, I was like, at one point she's gonna drop that.
What about the cane? What if it like doesn't extend out? It's like,
it doesn't extend, or she's flipping it around and it falls out. There'll be that's the danger with props, but still, like it's worth it because they look so cool when they do it right, and
at least it's not Brave Girls level dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
or we can get crazy moments like Shiny where the mic broke. You remember that? Have either of you guys seen that?
No, I haven't seen that.
What was the song with the mic stands?
Dream Girl.
Yeah, Dream Girl. And yeah, one of their mic stands broke, but they like
actually the circular part fell off, right?
Well, like the whole thing fell apart eventually, but like you can see them like perfectly like adapt to it to where they hand it, like the one that's in the middle hands is over, and like you can't even tell. Yeah. Basically. And also, like one of them kicks it out of the way so that the others don't trip, and it's just so cool.
Yeah,
like,
they basically pulled a romance where they pass the mic, that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, but it looks like completely natural. Like there's only supposed to be 4 mic stands, but one of them just fell apart in the middle of the performance, and they handled it so well.
They're pros.
That'll happen sometimes.
Anyways, one other thing about this song that I'd like to comment on is Dami's part in this was way better than the other 3 songs.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yep.
I think it fit in like much better, and she definitely did take on more of like a major role in this song.
Yeah, she's kind of the focus of this entire song in a way.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Moving on to Mayday.
A cover of the April song.
This is I really like. So it starts out with just a piano intro, but it leads into more standard rock Dreamcatcher stuff. For me, in this song I actually like the vocals of this better than You and I, but I think I like the instrumentals a little bit less. So there's kind of like a trade-off for me in terms of this and You and I.
I actually think I like the instrumentals of this better, just because the drum part in this is so good. It's just like like hard hitting. Like the fills are ridiculous. Again, we have to find out who does like the instrumentals for Dreamcatcher songs, because their band is crazy good.
Yeah, I actually really, really like this song. Like, it was a toss-up for me as to whether I like this or You and I better. Because, like, I think this one rocks a lot more, which I really, really love. But I think I still do... I don't know. It's again, it's still a toss-up. I can't really put my finger on it. But yeah, this one is just as good, and I think could have easily been the MV song. So yeah, I think it's similar to like how in Prequel, in my opinion at least, Wake Up probably also could have been a title track.
Yeah, I would have shown for a Wake Up MV.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like any of their music could be like MV worthy. So yeah, I like the song a lot too. It was hard for me to choose between the two. Next we have Witch Star. So this is their more synthy song. It's very like synth heavy. It's pretty chill. To me, like a good way to describe this, because there was a bit of like 80s inspired synth in there, but to me it was more like a modern take on an 80s synth song, if that makes sense. Like there's bits and pieces of like 80s sounding synths in there, but the whole song is definitely more modern sounding. This is the closest we really got to a ballad. They didn't really do a ballad on this album. My only problem with this song, for me, when I was listening to it, it felt like the mixing was a little off. Like it felt like the instrumental was way louder than the vocals.
Yeah,
like way more loud than it should have been.
It's hard to do a sort of like soft sounding like 80s synth heavy type of track with soft vocals, and then like try to balance that out with the instrumentals. Yeah, they'd probably have to either cut back on the level of instrumentals that they're using, or just maybe, I don't know, use a bit more emptiness or space.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I noticed too. That's why it was kind of a miss for me. Not to mention like we've got, this is like the 100th like freaking like, I don't know, 80s synth inspired song that I've heard. So yeah, nothing doing much.
So that was a detriment to me, but I still like the song a lot actually.
Only miss for me though.
Listening to it, I was just like, I wish the vocals were a little bit louder. They felt like they were being overpowered.
Yeah, so for me, I pretty much had like the same problems, which was like I like the song, but I think it definitely stood out the least out of the 4 songs. Just because I guess it can come off as kind of generic, but like it's not like so bad that I would never listen to this song. Like I'd be perfectly fine with it. Like if I were listening through all of Dreamcatcher's songs. But yeah, so it was a good song, but it definitely stood out the least to me out of the like 4 like full tracks.
And last we have Scar. So this to me felt a lot more similar to Fly High. Although the breakdown is a lot heavier. For the most part, it's a more innocent like ballady. It's not a ballad, but it's the more innocent ballady sounding rock song. Like Fly High was. But I thought it was a good way to end the album, to bring it back up to be a little bit more lighter.
This is actually my favorite song. I don't know about you guys, but
like I said, I literally couldn't pick a favorite. I thought you said the intro was your favorite song.
Favorite of the actual songs. I know intro, Inside Outside was my favorite of all of the songs, but of like proper songs, this definitely is, because this is like even more anime than Fly High was. This sounds like some freaking like ending song for Kill la Kill or something like that, or some other crazy like hype shonen anime.
So the song is definitely up there for me. Which I mean, I guess I said that about all 3 of the other songs. But yeah, like this one, I think. See, it's weird because I almost considered this to be like the ballad of the album, even though it's not a ballad at all. It just gives off that nice like, sentimental like, sort of feeling, which I really, really like. So I almost wish they just like give us more of these songs instead of like just like pop ballads, I guess. But it's like just a slight criticism, I guess, on those type of songs. But anyways, I really, really love this and really good.
Again, this is a Foo Fighters-esque song in which is like soft verse, loud chorus sort of type of thing. So I can see why.
Again, As I say, like every time we mention this, one of my favorite bands, so I will never complain about that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, seriously, I would not be surprised if there's an AMV using this. I will make an AMV using this song already. It's so perfect for anime.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that was our
All right.
Dreamcatcher
Yes.
review.
Scores.
Now for scores, for me, I gave it a 10 out of 6 for music.
You
a
goddamn
10 out
cheater.
of a 10 out of 3 for aesthetics, and a 10 out of 1 for bias. So
It's
it gives a
concept,
30 out of 10.
30 out of 10.
It's concept,
For
not
concept.
aesthetics.
It's concept, aesthetics, same difference.
No.
So a 30 out of 10 for me.
Okay, so 10 out of 10.
But yeah, like literally Dreamcatcher still hasn't missed for me. I think all 4 of their releases have been 10 out of 10s for me. And they're definitely up there with like Red Velvet and Card for me on putting out like consistently putting out great music.
All right. 5 out of 6 for music. I gave that same score the last time. But I'd say the only caveat I'd have to say with my 5 out of 6 is that as much as I like the songs, Prequel definitely had a lot more variety in terms of like how the songs sounded. So I'd like to, which is why I'm very optimistic about them sort of changing up their concept, because I feel like if they beat this dead horse for the next God knows how many years, it definitely gets stale. So I'm glad that they're not afraid to sort of change it up. So yeah, I'm very optimistic for. Even though it might be a different sort of sound, I think with what they've shown with this entire sort of nightmare concept, I think it'll work well regardless. 3 out of 3 for concept. Again, like the music video, the outfits, like the Final Fantasy type stuff, like everything, it was amazing. I feel like Dreamcatcher is like one of the very few groups that sort of like has so many layers within the visual element of them, and they have, much like Luna, they have like crazy deep stories and all this sort of like hidden code shit that they hide in like their teaser images and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's definitely for people like me that like obsess over like random like clues for like Cloverfield and shit. It's like it's great stuff. So, and obviously bias point 1 out of 1. So yeah, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10 total. Like. Yeah, I really can't wait. I really can't wait to see how they'll change their sound, because I feel like this is like definitely a great way to sort of like, if they're gonna change it, this is definitely a great way to send off like Nightmare era Dreamcatcher. So I'm very excited to see where they're going from here.
So for me, I actually gave it the same score as Andrew did. So 5 out of 6 for music. Like I really love You and I, Mayday, and Scar, but Witch's Star was a little more like. It didn't stand out as much, but it was still a pretty decent song. So I won't knock it too much for that. And then 3 out of 3 for concept. The MV was really cool. I really like the outfits. The dance was really cool. As always, album art is always really cool. Like following the same concept, but like, I don't know. It's Dreamcatcher never really fails in that department, I guess is what I'm going to say for album art. Like on the picture, it's like freaking looking at this mansion from a cornfield or something. It's really weird, but yeah. Anyways, and then obviously bias point, so 9 out of 10 for me, and I think that'd be 10 out of 10 overall.
That's
or 9 out of 10 overall.
That's a 48 out of 30. So
you cheater. No.
no, it's a 9 out of 10 because you guys are horrible people.
Hey, it still gets
shiny.
It gets the shiny.
It deserves the 10 out of 10 shiny that doesn't
Here's
exist.
the thing. I gave it a 9 because, well, one, because one of the songs didn't stand out as much. Also because I don't know what I gave Prequel, but I would give it a 10 now if I were to think about it. And I don't think it's quite as good as
a
Prequel.
little bit lower than Prequel. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So.
They're talking about how their mom like started crying when they saw the news, because basically it's just been literally a generation since the last time they've had any sort of like peace talks between the two countries. So yeah, I feel like even though we really don't know what the future is, I feel like this is definitely like, it's a sliver of hope that